burns inside. I stand my ground, won't let it slide. If you doubt my point, you'll hurt my pride. I'll argue forever, no need to hide. When it all goes wrong and it burns inside, I stand my ground, won't let it slide. If you doubt my point, you'll hurt my pride. I'll argue forever, no need to hide. I'm a libertarian. I fight for the rights of every man. I am a libertarian. And fight 'cause I'm right, fight 'cause I'm right. When I know what's wrong and I know what's right, I'll debate all day and I'll win the fight. 'Cause deep in my mind I got clarity. Being right's the only thing that matters to me. I am a libertarian. I fight for the rights of every man. I am a libertarian. And fight 'cause I'm right, fight 'cause I'm right. I know what's wrong and I know what's right. I'll debate all day and I'll win the fight. 'Cause deep in my mind I got clarity. Being right's the only thing that matters to me. I am a libertarian. I'd fight for the rights of every man. I am a libertarian. And fight 'cause I'm right, fight 'cause I'm right. I am a libertarian. I'd fight for the rights of every man. I am a libertarian. And fight 'cause I'm right, fight 'cause I'm right. I am a libertarian.
What is
I was in the green room.
everybody?
What's up, guys?
What's
I was in the green room.
We already got requests for thirst trap shots from you. So, Andy, here we go.
Oh my god!
Here we go.
Listen,
It's going to be that kind of night.
I hope so.
There's Creole Queen.
hope
What's
so.
up, Creole Queen? Patriot Lyricist. Great follow
Yep,
on
that's
here.
one of
Make
my
sure you're
boys.
following.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's one of my boys. Very talented human being. Please share to share. What? I couldn't read it that fast.
She just said to share. She's typing. She types and talks at the same time. She's very talented.
Oh, I see.
There's a lot going on. There's Liz is here. Welcome, Liz. Joseph's
What's
here.
up, Liz?
What's up, Joseph? Joseph, I missed Joseph's birthday. Happy birthday, Joe. Appreciate you, brother. Another great vet on here that I really appreciate. Really good guy. And yeah, so welcome everybody. Thanks for doing this. Oh, the great Eric Johnson, my favorite Eric Johnson of the musical Eric Johnsons, may or may not be doing something musical I'm not allowed to talk about, or maybe yeah, I'm not supposed to say anything really. So yeah, happy birthday, brother.
Gaslighter.
Welcome everybody. So Terry, do you know how to update the score? Because he sent it, but I don't know how to update it. So we might be winging it.
I already
You got
took
it?
care of it. I already got it.
You got to share it then. Or maybe I can share it. Never mind. I got it. All right. So welcome everybody. So we rebranded it. It is now called Are You Smarter Than a Politician? So everybody, welcome
Genius.
to Are You Smarter Than a Politician? We've got our Republican elephant, we got our Democrat donkey, and we've got our libertarian porcupine, obviously the most stylish of the bunch. And thank you, everybody. This is the #1 rated game show at 8 p.m. for people 46 to 49 who've yelled taxation is theft at a traffic light. So appreciate you all.
That is correct.
Please share this out, everybody. The more, the merrier. Please, crack a beverage, kick back, enjoy yourself. It's Friday night. We're going to have some fun, talk some politics, do what you do. So, and yeah, so my YouTube's working thanks to Creole Queen and Terry and B and everybody that's helped me with that. So that's up there. Just search Freedom Uncut. Go through about 85 George Michael videos. Probably should have checked that before I named my show. And the Rumble, also Freedom Uncut. Tonight, we've got the great Burn and Tea. I mean, come on, this is awesome. Burn and Tea's on here. The handle's up there at Burn and Tea Ranch. One of the greats on here, does great spaces. Another great, we got Trevor Thacker here. Very talented person. Make sure you're following Trevor at TretHack24 in the yellow there. And I mean, the greatest influencer on X, if you ask me, right here, the professional parched quencher, followed by 69 Elon Musk's, 96 Powerball winners, and some guy named Jake. He's a feet pick dealer, eye candy CEO, and the garlic daddy. I mean, he is literally all of
You
those
can click
things
on view
and
more.
more. I mean, that's underselling it. Who you got there, Burning T?
This is Olivia. She's my special guest to help me out because I'm going to win because Olivia brings the game.
Olivia is the secret weapon.
She is the secret weapon.
We should have searched. We should have searched Andy's hair for answers first. But all right. So, and then the great producer Terry Batts. She's Batts T76. Batts T76, and she is working on the rhino removal project. Terry, did you want to say anything about this?
I just want to say that it kicked off the website and today, so you can go there, and I'll be posting things in the comment section. The full purpose of this on the ground movement is to get rid of the rhinos in the Senate and the House of Representatives. Vernon's also working on this project. I just am putting some information out there and helping out with some little bit of writing. Other than that, it's really great. It's going good. A lot of people are involved, and we already have 6 rhinos that are being targeted for replacement in the 2026 election cycle. That's it. Thank you very much.
All right, get rid of those rhinos.
That's
Time for them to go.
Hold on, I'm advertising the space. It's not that I'm not paying attention.
It's not required to pay attention. Have you seen the show?
Exactly.
Jim Bob wants to know who isn't smarter than a politician. Well, we're about to find out, Jim Bob. Don't spoiler alert. Don't ruin it for us, okay? And let's see who else jumped in here. Yeah, nobody wins here. That's fair. Speaking of spoiler alerts, it is rhino season too. Let's see if anybody else jumped in. Let's see. Casey, what's up, Casey? This might be the first one that Casey hasn't been on. So see if Casey reaps havoc in the chat here. And all right, so that's that. I am free, your host. I am Freedom for Us for All, and the show is Freedom Uncut. Those are the 2 handles. And then my technical advisor, if you will, and the one that has to put up with me 24/7, my son, Mini Free. He's Mini Free for Us. He does a lot of the tech, responsible for this gorgeous setting with the lights and all that. All right, so let's just jump right into it. So the best part is nobody ever watches this before they come on, so this is new to you guys. So you're in for a treat. So the rules are: I am the government. I am not myself. I play the role of the government in this. Whatever I say goes. Scoring errors count. Life isn't fair. Suck it up, Buttercup. We don't care. Okay. And the rules are: you can debate someone else if you don't like their answer. You get one of these each. One debate. You can veto someone else's answer, taking them out of the running for the points. You can tariff someone else and take their points. You can ask for a recount of your points, but that won't go well for you. And you can redistribute answers and therefore steal points that way as well. So using the Democrats' trick there to steal. And similar to the government, you'll have to fill out 5 different forms at the end to see who won, or if you owe us money, or if you're going to jail. So, yeah. And you start off with negative 50 points because the government gets paid first. No one's ever won, but if someone did win, you would get the Ron Paul holding the Ron Paul trophy. We also have the prize shelf with the Ayn Rand fountainhead teddy bear. And we have Mike Johnson's signature cologne called Swamp Ass.
Doesn't smell
And
that
we
bad.
have the Lego Killdozer set in case you have any problems with zoning or the IRS. So we're going to jump right into lightning round. Terry, I'll put you back in the control center. Terry will be keeping score and minding the chat. So thank you, Terry. All right, lightning round. Here we go. So we'll go with Andy first because he says he's seen the show. I don't believe him, but we'll see if
That's true.
we'll let him go first.
I've had it
So
playing
these
in the
are
background.
lightning round is 1-sentence answers, and score is determined by performance for the entire round. And the twist is you judge each other. So you get 500 points to give or take away from your opponents. So if you like their answers and you want to be generous, you can give them points, or you could take away points and be mean. So that's how that works. And as always, if you're in the chat can give up to 500 points as well, or take away 500 points. Oh, Woodcraft's here. What's up, Woodcraft? Woodcraft's running for office in El Paso, running for school board. So follow Ryan Woodcraft, one of my all-time faves. And been on here several times as well. All right, so the category is, Andy, America First and nationalism. Okay, you ready? Don't care.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Should foreign aid be significantly reduced?
Absolutely should be negative.
All right. Burning. Should the U.S. reduce its involvement in international organizations like the UN?
This is a setup question. The UN is on our soil currently. They're talking about protecting Greenland from us now. Not only should we not be associated with them, we need to completely defund them, get out of there, and tell them where the fuck to go.
Exactly. There's other planets.
There you go. Have Elon send them somewhere.
Exactly.
All right, Trevor. Should American companies be required to manufacture goods in the U.S.?
Absolutely. It's not made in America. I don't want it.
All right. Andy, to you. Should American businesses be prioritized over foreign-owned corporations?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Is that your
Burning.
final answer?
That's a lot of-
Should politicians be banned from holding dual citizenship?
Crap, I take a shot at Andy and then I get this question. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be banned from having dual citizenship. If you had dual citizenship, you shouldn't be allowed to hold a U.S. office at any level.
Amen. Can I be the
Trevor.
cheerleader of some of these answers in the background too?
Trevor, should the U.S. stop accepting refugees from war-torn countries?
100%. And I will buy Ilhan Omar's plane ticket to send her back to Somalia.
There you go.
Or Somalia.
Woodcraft jumps in 500 to Burn and T for the UN answer. Good start for you. Let's see here. All right. And then, all right, Andy, new category, immigration and border security.
Okay.
Should the U.S. finish building the border wall?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Have you seen them climb it?
Who?
I mean, people are like scaling it like nonstop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just kind of like a speed bump, maybe at the border, kind of idea. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, if they're going to get here, if they're going to be in here, they might as well be able to climb a wall and be physically fit.
Creole Queen
There's
says 500 Burn and T. Joseph with the first compliment of me of the night. These are all softballs.
Not big balls.
Jim Bob 500 for all the questions having obvious answers.
Yeah, they're pretty basic.
And all right, so Burnin. Should illegal immigrants be immediately deported without trial?
Without trial. Yes, they're here illegally. If they don't have papers, fuck them, they're out.
Minus 200 for thinking the border wall is effective. Okay.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's effective.
There's a wall around my house. There's a wall around my house for a reason.
See, there was a Casey wants to electrify the wall. There you go. Now you're talking.
Trap doors.
Cat says 500 Andy and Burn and T. We're way in the positive here. See, softball answers are helping you guys out. So you
that's
should
what I'm
get off
talking.
my case with these. All right.
She has it on mute. She's just watching.
There you go. Trevor, should the U.S. end birthright citizenship?
100%. To hold office in this country, you should be a natural born citizen. End of story.
Well, birthright citizenship is if you're born here, you're a citizen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have to end it for, illegals to be able to come here and pop a kid and have
Pop a baby.
citizenship. Yeah, 100%.
End of anchor babies.
Yeah, it doesn't happen anywhere else. It doesn't happen anywhere else either.
Nope.
Alyssa, all you got to do is type it in the chat. Just like you type that, just type whatever you want to say. You can give a comment, give an opinion, take or give points.
She's biased. She'll take away from me.
There we go. Joe just got deported. That was me, Joe. I keep putting your name in. I call them once a day. Grease the beams like forks for their bird feeders. All right. That must be like a country thing, because I understood none of those words. So
they do that in Chicago.
All right. To Andy, should states be allowed to enforce their own immigration laws?
Absolutely. Neighborhoods should be able to enforce their own immigration laws.
So they
Why
can
wouldn't the state be?
overrule a federal immigration law?
They should be able to. Yes, absolutely, because they're individual states. I don't care. But
that's a trick question.
If it's affecting, right, a federal level, like for example, California, I don't give a crap. You want all your illegals in there, do whatever the hell you want them to do. But the second that those illegals start leaving into other states, now you have a federal problem because you're crossing federal lines, just like, with every other crap. But they should be able to enforce their own laws. Absolutely. Just like neighborhoods do, just like, HOAs enforce laws, immigration laws.
Sanctuary cities?
Screw those. I mean, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. But like I said, as soon as they leave and they start affecting other places that haven't voted for it, then ciao Pascal.
All right. I'm for localism, so I'm on the same page with you on that. Ryan says minus 500 Trevor for not supporting the Constitution. Birthright citizenship in the Constitution is what he's saying. Minus 500 Joe for not understanding what legal immigration means. Joe's not playing, but I'll take it off of him next time. And Ryan minus 500 Andy for bypassing title laws.
I'll take it.
Joe wants to know if you're checking papers at state borders.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're gonna start deciding situations like that, then every state should become treated as an individual state, and everybody should have their own borders. If you're telling it to enforce their own immigration laws, then absolutely. It's like Europe, like how it's supposed to be.
In the Middle East.
David says minus 100 to Andy for not getting the hat memo. There's a lot of fashion critiques on here.
I know a lot of
apparently a real stylish group.
Yeah. Yeah, like they do in Europe. It's just like Europe. I mean, that's the original plan.
Minus 500 Andy for agreeing with California.
I used to have a house in San Diego.
Jim Bob and Joe are already fighting in the comments. Minus 500 Jim Bob for not understanding the Constitution. I love when the chat fights.
Wait, I mean a hat. What's the hat comment? I'm gonna do what's the hat?
Minus 500 everybody. All right, so now it's kind of a bloodbath. That's I'm more comfortable once it becomes a bloodbath.
We don't even have the scores live, so I can start, calling USAID to start rigging some of this crap.
Minus 500 to Trevor and Burnin for fix our immigration policies, hold Congress accountable. Plus 25 to Burnin for having the deadliest telescope in the background.
It's a beautiful telescope.
It'll do the job. It's good
plus
for
500
telescope
for
hole puncher.
electrifying the wall. All right.
Jurassic Park style.
Let's see. We got to make sure we're checking the top here. These are all over the place too. All right. So
people like that immigration one, huh?
It's a hot topic nowadays, huh? All
Apparently.
right. Burn
it won't be in about a year. It won't be in about a year, hopefully.
Should illegal immigrants be banned from ever becoming U.S. citizens?
I mean, that's a loaded question. There's some people that have been here for 50 years and they came under a different time. But these people that are coming over in mass waves under the Biden administration, absolutely. Send them home. They come back. I stand with Trump, throw them in prison for 10 years, and then send them back again.
So would you grandfather them in, give them amnesty up to a certain date?
So I think you have some people who've been here, they've been productive members of society, paying their taxes, that should be given consideration because the processes have changed. But the process is very clear today. And all these people that are just walking across the border, send them the hell back. If they come back, 10 years in prison, send them the hell back again. They come back again, send them a freaking Gitmo. I don't care. Follow the process. We have far too many people who have followed the process.
Joe lost his telescope like that in a boating accident, along with his weed income and immigrants. So, yeah, there's more stuff in this boating accident every time you tell that story, Joe.
I lost my 338 in the boating accident, Joe.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the mass migration is just a very big issue because, like, what's happening with those numbers. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys remember or you're old enough the Marielito situation in Miami with Castro and Carter when he was like, "Yeah, just ship them over here," just like Biden did. And then look what happened to Miami in the '80s. I don't know if you guys remember, but it's called the Magic City because in Spanish, mágicos or magicians are that's what they call drug dealers. That entire city was taken over by all those Cubans that also brought in other people and brought in other people and all other people. It's like the conversation that we had the other night about the kids. What?
Do you oppose wet foot, dry foot?
Do I oppose? I didn't hear you, buddy.
Do you oppose wet foot, dry foot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. 100. Absolutely, buddy. Get in line. And I'm a Colombian, okay? Like I came here legally because my parents were kidnapped, okay? So I will tell you, get in line. Like the problem that the majority of people from South America and these countries that have the majority, and I do not care who it is, okay, is that they come here as a business transaction. They're not here trying to stay here, right?
But
like the majority of the ones that are jumping borders.
So if you're not allowed to get in line, how do you resolve that? Because the Cubans weren't allowed to get in line.
What do you mean they're not? What do you mean they're not allowed to get in line? They're not allowed to get in line from Cuba, but they're allowed to get in line from Colombia or any other country that they can travel to. I've been to Cuba 20, 30 times with using my Colombian passport. You can fly back and forth all the time. What you see here is completely different than what's actually happening. They could all leave and fly to other countries. It's just here. They're just embargoed here or in the UK.
Eric makes a good point. You could have called a debate on that and debated him on it.
I'm learning the rules.
Well, the rules are kind of sketchy.
It's the first time.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Minus 500 for implying AOC and MTG are doing their jobs.
Wait, who said AOC was doing her job? Where was it?
Minus 100 burning for making sense on the immigration question. See, sometimes you can lose points for being right too. So
yeah, absolutely.
The line is the border, Joe. That's why they called it the border. Oh, he's switching hats. He's switching hats. That's usually the 7th inning hat. We're going to the 7th inning hat early here.
Rally hat.
Joe wants to know where the line is. Krill Queen said, I think if they came in at a legal entry point and are going through the correct process, then allow them to file for citizenship. Those who don't, ship them back immediately. Yeah, I mean, it needs to be overhauled. I mean, it's typical government where they say we'll follow the process and the process sucks and the lawyers make money and, people that try. The one that kills me is, our great vets that went overseas and served, met somebody, married them, want to bring them back, and we won't let them do that. I mean, it's just the whole thing top to bottom is asinine. It's almost like the government runs it. All right. Going back to it. So that was you, Burnin, right? So to Trevor, should asylum claims be processed outside the U.S. before allowing entry?
Absolutely. And that's to me, that's the remain in Mexico policy. So yeah, I agree. before you enter this country, we should be able to know everything about you, why you're claiming asylum, because we have a major problem with that at the border right now. You know, the whole entire world can't be that bad. It can't be that dangerous. So, and I'm not saying there's not dangerous places, but you know, the last time I checked, you know, there's a lot of places like they're claiming to come from that are not. Uh, the asylum sounds ridiculous. So yeah, I absolutely.
Yeah, Jim
Listen,
Bob's saying
the majority of these people walking, you know, from South America or whatever they're walking through, they're going by countries like Costa Rica, Panama,
Absolutely.
Guatemala, and all these places that Americans go and vacation all the time because it's freaking paradise. You understand? So they can, if they're truly scared of wherever they're coming from, then guess what? There's one country over, and they can wait and do their things and blah blah blah. Nobody knows who they are in Costa Rica or anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, if you're seeking asylum, you're going to seek asylum to, you know, to the first place you come to that will allow you. So you know, there's a lot
If
of
it's
people.
real,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real Queen says absolutely. As a Iraqi veteran, she agrees with that. Thank you for your service, Creole Queen. Creole Queen's
Absolutely.
awesome. If you don't follow her, make sure you
She's
are.
awesome. She's on YouTube though. Is she on Twitter or X?
Creole Queen, are you on X?
That's
Put it. She'll
YouTube.
put it in the chat. She knows how to do this stuff better than me. Jim Bob says he wasted more than $25K in 7 years to get his wife and son in this country the right way, and that's just asinine. I mean,
It's crazy.
and he's a skilled guy. He's like diesel mechanic. You know, we need as many people as we can doing jobs like that. I mean, especially if we're gonna, you know, build up our manufacturing and, you know, build industry
Yeah,
again.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, my first wife, I had to get papers for my first wife. She was Colombian, and it was a disaster. Like, I mean, as far as the organization of the entire situation is a disaster. You know what I mean? And all they care about is your tax returns. They're like, oh, let me see your tax returns. If you can support them, you're in. I mean, that's how it used to be.
You said papers on your first wife. Does that mean it had an expiration date on it?
Yeah,
Okay.
apparently. Married to me always has an expiration date.
Ryan says deporting combat vets is worse. Very anti-American. I agree. And Joe's getting into the bloodshed here. Getting in line at all the ports of entry, not any place on the border. Minus 200 to all for lack of practicality. Everybody takes a little dip there.
Very democratic.
Stitch says, I think we should shut down all forms of immigration for at least 20 years to recoup. Welcome, Stitch. Says hello.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
500 to burn in if you can prove you can hit a 500-meter target with the rifle.
So
Not
yeah,
rifle.
I dropped an elk with a 280 Weatherby Mark IV ultralight at 863 yards, one shot
There you go.
Wow.
across the canyon.
You lost 250 for not saying taxation is theft.
Damn, I didn't know we were there yet. We all know taxation is theft, especially property.
You don't know Jim Bob. That was coming.
Damn, Jim Bob. Are you going to jump me for not saying property taxes was theft too soon?
Yeah. They like to get it in early, you know.
We lease our homes from the government.
Let's see here. Oh, Chris is here. What's up, Chris? All right. I think there's lots and lots of comments. So I think I got them all. All right. So what were we doing? Questions, apparently. Oh, we're at scores. And, you know, there's been some confusion about the graphic with this. You don't have to destroy their scores. This was an AI error. It was supposed to be a flyover, you know, like the Super Bowl. The bombing of the scores was just an accidental AI thing. So let's see. Plus 500 to Andy for saying organization of the situation.
The situation. Negative 100 for you, buddy.
Minus 25 if Andy says absolutely again.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. Zach says minus 500 to everyone for not saying end the Fed. So you're kind of getting an idea how the chat likes to do the scoring. So yeah, too late, David. You dituationed already.
Yeah, I thought it was situation. Negative 500 for David.
Joe Biden. Just asking for a friend here.
Yeah, we'll see. Throw it out there.
All right, fuck Joe Biden.
And all right, so you guys, Andy, to you get to either assign or take away 500 points. You can split. You can do whatever you want. 500 points. What do you do here?
What? What am I supposed
to do? If you like their answer,
I've seen this thing. Like,
if you didn't like their answer, you can take away points. You're judging them on the round. If they had a really bad answer, you can hammer them now. If they had a really great answer, you can reward them. I'll split my 500 for the hair.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll split them between Trevor and Bird and T. Okay.
All right, 250.
I'll give 250. 250. Yep.
All right, Burning, to you. 500 points. Give, take away, split, whatever you want to do.
All right,
Thanks,
so I'm going to split as well because I like Andy's openness to debate, even though I didn't call for a debate. And Trevor had some real softballs, so all he had to do was toe the line there, so I'll let him have it. But I'm hoping this gets
like the eye candy
for him to take a position because absolutely that's what we should do. Is a pretty common response for Trevor there.
Zach thinks it's let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, no, I started out being polite. I've evolved.
Rest in peace, Joe Biden. All right, Trevor, to you.
You just had a security clearance pulled.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Boy, I wish he was
started it.
I wish he was coherent enough to know that happened, but he isn't. So.
Well, that means Jill's not getting the updates now, and she doesn't know when Hunter's going to be arrested next.
Hunter's not getting the updates. That's the truth.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor, to you, 500 points. Give, take away, whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna have to split them. I mean, I'm like negative 1100, so I'll split them between Andy and Bernadette.
All right, so I have to. Usually Casey does this, so it's going to be a disaster. But let's see. So here we are with the scores.
Oh, not bad.
Did that show up? All right. So we got.
Yeah.
We'll go in order here. Burnin, minus 325. You're in the lead. Contrary to popular belief, the higher scores are better. Zach, looking in your direction, and then Andy, negative 1,300. Been penalized 2,550 by the chat, which is pretty high. And then Trevor, within a decent distance, 2,000 minus 2,000. Really got hit hard by the chat, minus 2,750 there. And and Mike is at negative 20,114. For those of you that don't know, Mike was supposed to be on the first version of this back in like September, and he's been losing points ever since. So he's at 20,114. So chances are you will not fall behind Mike.
Hey, can we
How am I beating
Kobe Keith? We got the red solo cup in honor.
There you go.
How am I beating Trevor if Trevor's barely spoken?
He got hammered on some of those. So
very Paul Pelosi.
All right, so back to the mix here. Andy, to you, category is Law and Order, not the TV show. Should violent rioters face mandatory prison sentences?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
What do you consider violent?
What do I consider violent? Anything that will cause bodily harm with blood.
What about destruction of property?
Fuck yeah, dude. That's the worst. Absolutely. I hate those people.
So mandatory and all that?
Yep. If it belongs to a person, yes. Absolutely. If
the government,
I don't give a crap. That's where you're supposed to take your protest, to be honest with you. But if it belongs to somebody hardworking, absolutely.
All right.
No, so how do I call for a debate here?
Debate.
That was it. You literally just did it.
Debate.
All right. So I'm going to remove me and Trevor. You got 15 seconds to make your point. Andy's got 15 minutes to, or 15 seconds to make your point, 15 seconds to respond. I will remove me and Trevor. And
so I'm just going to throw this out there because people called January 6th violent protests, and you're saying mandatory sentences for violent protesters. So how do you draw the line or draw the delineation?
Because, like I said, either when you're trying to do something against the government, it's completely off the table. But something that is like a BLM riot that starts burning up towns, then I have issues with.
What about
January 6th?
Where they firebombed, police headquarters and government entities?
Absolutely, those people should 100% be in prison. 100%.
How do you delineate between that and J6?
Because of it's the location of the government. Like if you are protesting, if you're protesting on government property to government situations, I don't have an issue with. But if you are completely burning down cities or towns or taking out houses or affecting, daily routines like blocking traffic or all that whatever crap, I'm not down for those protests.
So what I'm hearing, it's not mandatory; it's situational.
It's situation. Well, that it would be situational based on government. Yeah, based on the government. Absolutely, because you can't. People work way too hard for everything that they have, and if somebody doesn't like whatever it is that has nothing to do with you, why the hell are they taking out your property? It all comes down to whatever the government's doing. It has nothing to do with you.
I would challenge the Summer of Love attack multiple federal installations and received no punishment. We have J6 where you had people who received, detention without ever having due process. So I just want to make sure that we understand that there's delineation. It's not just all violent protesters. It's situational.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I said.
How did he beat you without even saying anything other than questions? 500 burn and tea on that. So it was just he just dismantled you with questions. It was speaking of law and order, he went law and order on you and just destroyed you on the stand there, I think.
No, what are you talking about? We agree.
But after he asked you questions, you missed the question. You missed the word mandatory, apparently.
No, I said mandatory depending on where it was located.
I feel like I've spoken on this. All right. Yep. Creole Queen agrees. 500 burn and tea. And Cielo?
Cielo. Yep. I mean sky in Spanish.
You misspelled free wrong when you wrote the eye candy, but let's see. This is acting a little weird. Minus 250 for Andy and Ranch for not understanding what a crime is. Status. That's an inside joke there. Plus 100 to Trevor for applicable Paul Pelosi reference. Stitch wants to know if the loser gets deported.
Oh.
All right, so here we go. Burn and tea to you. Should the death penalty be expanded for violent crimes? So non-murder violent crimes like rape.
You asked the wrong person this question because I'm a huge proponent of the death penalty if things are able to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. I happen to have been a witness to a double homicide that was gang related. I have no remorse. If you want to look at child rapists, and there's an argument that says people will be more prone to kill if they're worried about somebody telling on them. We kill enough of them fuckers, they're not going to be committing the crime. So should the death penalty be applied? Yes. You rape a child, front of the freaking line. We get a guy in the prison or in the county jail here in Pike County, Alabama, who raped his 3-month-old daughter, required her to have multiple surgeries, have a colostomy bag for life. Luckily, the people in there found out what he did. They're handling the shit for us. Had they not, fry his ass.
Yep, agreed.
100%.
So
you said beyond a reasonable doubt. I mean, there's been over 300 cases where the death penalty was applied and proven later that the state was wrong.
Was it proven
Over 100 of those were DNA proven
on, technicalities? There's a lot of times where there's technicalities. There's a difference between wrong and not guilty, right? So you can throw stuff out for a technicality. I know in my personal situation, I watched 2 fucking gangbangers come out of the bushes and walk up to 2 people and shoot them 6 times in the fucking head. I saw it with my own eyes. I watched them walk into the bar, sit down, and order a fucking drink. That's beyond a reasonable doubt. The cop should have walked into the bar and shot him in the fucking head that night. I would have been fine with it. As opposed to, they're still sitting in prison getting 3 hots in a cot. So there are situations where it is beyond a reasonable doubt. If you have video evidence of it, you can see this motherfucker walk out of the bushes, put a bullet in his head. I'm good.
But the problem isn't necessarily with the ones that are beyond a reasonable doubt. It's the ones that the state says are beyond a reasonable doubt that aren't. And like the case in Texas right now, they didn't test the guy's DNA. The DNA has been waiting to be tested for like a dozen years, and they were going to execute him before they even tested the DNA. So, I mean, I always say, if you can't trust the state to count votes, why would you trust them with the death penalty? I mean, our voting system is flawed as hell. Why would you trust these same people with the death penalty?
It's a solid argument, but if you have videographic evidence, if you've tested DNA, if you have the evidence, and we can define what beyond a reasonable doubt is, we could do an entire show on that and spend 6 hours establishing reasonable doubt. But if it's beyond a reasonable doubt, and you have a credible eyewitness like myself, and there were 2 other people with me who both got murdered before the trials, tells you everything you needed to know. That there are people who are on videotape committing crimes because we have so many cameras across the U.S., which is an entirely different topic of conversation because we're in a surveillance state. But if we have the evidence, use it, fry them.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the, would you rather one guilty man go free and a bunch of innocent people go free, or vice versa? It's like I said, I don't trust the government at all, let alone with life and death type situations. Plus, it's unfairly, carried out on the poor, minorities. Like somebody in Beverly Hills can do something. Somebody in the inner city does the same thing, totally different punishment. So it's just the government.
Right. The person in Beverly Hills now gets punished harder because the people in Harlem are going to be set free because they're a person of color. They're not held to the same standards anymore. You've had a complete inversion of the justice system in the tiers of justice. Whereas it used to be that, if you were a person of color, you're going to be judged more harshly. That's now been completely inverted under the DEI that is our current government. So I don't see it as a problem. If you have indisputable evidence, it's beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm cool with it.
The stats do not support that yet. I mean, there are definitely some cases where, some Soros DAs are doing some weird stuff, but the cases, the stats
don't support it because they're no longer reporting to the FBI crime statistic database. We know this. A lot of the cities have withdrawn from reporting their data, so it makes it look like it's perfectly fine, but it's fully inverted, and you can walk in any blue city or state and recognize that.
But that's the crime data. That's not court data. Court data is still public.
Only if it gets to court. If you kick them out and you don't get taken to court, I mean, there's definitely a multiple tier justice system. But going back to the original question, I fully support using the death penalty in situations where it's beyond a reasonable doubt. And we can debate the definition of reasonable doubt. But if somebody's guilty and they're guilty, fry them. I don't care. What's the point of keeping them in prison for the rest of their life? Is that,
well, I mean, you also have the option
of itself.
I mean, you pointed it out with, the child rapist, make prison situations much worse. Don't make it easy on them. Make it hard, brutal punishment. Chat split on your answer there. You got a plus 500 here, minus 500, minus 500, plus 500 for FAFO. Scientific says if the prisons are full of violent criminals.
I'm talking about due process. They get their due process beyond a reasonable doubt. Fry them. That's due process.
This is the previous one, plus 500 for bringing up J6. Minus 100 to Andy. Mandatory is a blanket sentence without stipulation. Rose says hello, and I think I'm caught up. I think Kat, if you're there, that's the chat. So you're seeing, depending on where you're at, you should be seeing the chat. You won't see, like, you'll just see the X ones. You won't see the YouTube ones if you're on X. So
Yeah,
they don't
sometimes
have
it
an
doesn't
integrated one.
refresh though. Sometimes it doesn't refresh, even when I'm watching the show. Sometimes the chat doesn't refresh for some weird reason.
Here's another one from Andy. -500. Habeas corpus protects us from tyranny. All right, so a bunch of different opinions on this, and that's why this is fun, right? So, all right, back to it. That one got lively. Trevor, should the FBI and DOJ be investigated for political bias?
Freaking softballs again. Come on.
Yeah.
100%. And I hope Attorney General Pam Bondi tears them up from top to bottom. Don't get me wrong, the rank and file in the FBI and the DOJ, most of the rank and file members are great people and they do a lot of great work. But the leadership and investigate them to the full and charge them and imprison their ass to the fullest extent. So absolutely.
See,
They should.
Casey
be
says
investigated
500 to
the point that
Burn
they're
and Grace. I think he came out positive there, Burning.
I mean, my opinions are my opinions. If they don't like them,
Well, that's kind of the whole thing is that you're going to get more from the ones that don't like them, which makes it kind of fun. So,
yeah.
-300 Andy for not refreshing. There you go.
Hey, how do we refresh a drink? Is my wife watching?
Yeah.
-100 to everyone. He wasn't paying attention, so you have to prove your innocence. Abolish both. 500 anyone who says it. And
They should abolish both for sure.
Absolutely.
Joe
All three
says
letters turn down.
it's the
or torn
type
down
of
and
death
report.
penalty which will determine how much it affects the occurrence of the capital crimes. Bringing back hang would deter much, if not all, capital crimes. Actually, the stats show that no punishment deters crime, mandatory minimums, death sentence. You got to remember, a lot of these people are dumb as hell. They don't know what the mandatory minimum is or what, they're going to do what they're going to do. If criminals weren't dumb, there wouldn't be crimes in a lot of these cases, right?
In a lot of
Buddy,
it's time to die.
No, listen, man. A lot of these criminals know the entire legal system inside and out. They know which points or what not points or what points to put here or how many points they need to go to prison or whatever. They know that entire freaking system, buddy. I can tell you because from my sober living situations that the people that go to prison over and over again, they know it all the points, everything they need to do, and all that stuff. That's why they do it. They live that world, buddy. They live that world.
-250 to Trevor for the rank and file fallback answer. 500 out of the 13,000 the DC field office targeted J6ers.
They should be eliminated.
Absolutely.
All right, so that was Trevor. Andy, should the Second Amendment be absolute with no restrictions?
Absolutely.
Can I have a tank?
Yep, and you can have a tank. Yeah,
a nuke?
If you could make it, buddy, you can definitely have it.
I heard if I buy a Hunter Biden painting, I can get one for free with it.
That would be freaking awesome. Buddy, listen, the majority of bomb making material you can go get at a pool store. You know what I mean? If you're really into it, you can go do it.
It sounds like a lot of work.
You should be able to.
I prefer to buy off the shelf in that case,
I mean, you can do that too, but everybody should be able to own whatever weapon they want to own.
Plus, I don't like the smell of chlorine.
Yeah.
For anybody listening, I do not know how to make bombs using chemicals from a pool store.
Yeah. I went to art school, so definitely not me either.
I like music.
Prison is where you find big men with XYY chromosomes, if that gives anyone some self-reflection.
It's always date night in prison.
All right, so
I got to see the bartender.
All right. We'll skip you and we'll go straight to Trevor then.
No, I'm back.
Trevor, should businesses have the right to refuse service based on their religious beliefs?
Absolutely. You know, if I'm one of these people, and I may get in trouble for this, but there's no such thing as transgender to me. I think they're all mentally ill dudes. So if a transgender comes into my bakery and wants me to bake a cake, well, then to hell with you, get out. You know, I'm not baking you shit.
That's not a religion, though. I'm pretty sure. It might be.
Well,
Who
I'm
knows?
just saying, you know, well, I mean, you know, every religion should be able to, we have religious freedom. So that should be respected at any turn.
Yeah, if you can deny somebody for not wearing a shirt to your inside of your business, you should be able to deny them for whatever it is you want to do.
Is a hermaphrodite transgender?
Depends
Well,
what
that's
it is.
a very rare case because they're born with, you know, both organs.
Yeah.
But some
It's the
dude,
it's the majority of gender reassignment surgeries is hermaphrodites.
yeah, well,
They
I mean,
gotta do something.
Who told-
There.
Let's fix that for that.
Plus 500 to Andy. I want a tank.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Let's
I want a
go
tank too.
back to Burn and T. Now we're playing out of order here. Oh, this is an easy one. Speaking of softball, should drug dealers
Softball,
receive
yeah,
the
that's
death
right.
penalty? Burn and T.
Should drug dealers receive the death penalty? No. Should certain drug traffickers with the capability of annihilating an entire state? I think it should be on the table. There's many countries that do it, and they have a very low rate of drug trafficking. That's a tougher one to debate. I think there are certain situations where, yes, I would support it. The majority of the cases, no. I think it's situational depending on, you know, what it is that they're driving. Should El Chapo be eligible for the death penalty because he's brought, you know, hundreds of millions of pounds of cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl into the U.S.? I mean, I'd support El Chapo being executed, but it's also the crimes behind that enabled him to do that I think, you know, take that to an elevated status. Just my personal opinion. And I know I'll lose points on that one from our friends in Texas, but it is what it is.
What about the Beverly Hills doctors that got the ladies there all doped up and on Ozempic and all them? Would they count?
No.
On Ozempic?
Not for
I'm saying-
Ozempic. I mean, you got the doctors that, you know, killed Matthew Perry, and those are people that are passing out prescriptions. I'm talking about people that are bringing in enough to kill entire populations of states, right? You look at somebody like El Chapo, or, you know, people bringing in 500 grams of freaking fentanyl that could wipe out California. That could wipe out, you know, Arizona. We won't include California. Then maybe that's on the table.
Minus 100 Trevor for not telling me what a trans cake is. Hashtag details. Plus 500 to Trevor for being based. Scientific government is now where you find big balls, if that gives anyone some self-reflection. I'm here for the chat. Plus 500 to Vernon for his El Chapo answer. Plus 500 to Trevor for religious freedom protected by the Constitution. Plus 500 to Andy for the Second Amendment. I didn't realize you were responsible for the Second Amendment. Thank you, Andy.
You're very welcome. I want everybody to have telescopes with hole punchers.
Andy, economy and trade.
Perfect.
Should tariffs on Chinese goods be increased?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially crap from Temu. It's all a bunch of garbage. Nobody should be able to buy any of that shit.
So they're at 10% now. What would you increase them to?
I would probably, for Temu crap, probably at least 500%. That shit should be unbuyable. Like, no joke. But if you see the problem with China, and I used to live in Hong Kong, so the problem with China is the labor situation, right? But we look at it like it's really bad, but they love it down there, right? So Centron, they love working for those factories because they're getting paid higher than normal for those Chinese people, right? and then the companies love it because it's a lower priced items, and there's a whole bunch of crap that they can't make here. So I would probably say 50% tariff. That's where I would probably go.
All right. Plus 500 to Andy. Get rid of the $800 loophole for Timu.
There you go.
Minus 100 to Andy for mispronouncing China.
China. Oh yeah, I should have done that.
It's pronounced China.
It's only been 3 weeks, guys.
It was China before.
Yeah,
sure.
no, I loved it. It's one of my favorite things about them.
I worked in China. Was forced to use WeChat.
That's what Elon. That's what Elon is trying to turn X into, is WeChat. It will be WeChat by the end of it.
Are you giving him 250 because he forced you to use WeChat, or did he stop that? Why does he get 250 for that? I'm confused by the score.
Because we both used WeChat. Probably because we both used WeChat.
All right. Burnin. Should the U.S. reintroduce manufacturing jobs through tax incentives?
I mean, what's your definition of a tax incentive? There's abatements. There's all different ways. Yeah, we absolutely need to increase U.S. manufacturing, whether it's via tax incentives, reduction in tariffs, tax abatements. We need to bring the stuff here. You've got so many manufacturers, and you look at Toyota, Hyundai, et cetera, that are doing so much work in Mexico, and that started to slow. And we've moved a lot of that manufacturing for, Hyundai, et cetera, into Alabama. But we need to force more work to be done here, and we need to change the definition of how they create the work, right? It's right now they call it work. They just assemble it over here. They don't actually build shit in the United States. They slap a few bolts in and they call it manufactured in the US of A to get all their tax incentives today. So we need to redefine the entire tax code on these incentives and abatements, et cetera, and say, if it's going to be built here, it's got to be built here. You can't ship all the shit in and have a few people bolt it together.
Don't you think government is the problem there, though? Like all of the regulations and licenses and inspections and all of that, then throw the taxes on top of that.
That wasn't the question, and you didn't call for a debate here.
I'm in charge. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Hell yes, the government's the problem. You go to China, they can manufacture shit for next Mexico. I mean, what permit do you need? You pay El Chapo, right? It's you can do anything in Mexico without any of the stand or any of the challenges that you face here. But that wasn't the question. The question is, should there be tax incentives to manufacture in the U.S.? Well, yeah, I fully support that. Now, do we need to deregulate? Absolutely. I mean, that's what Trump's doing. Minus 10 laws for every one new law, proposed. So deregulation is the key, but that wasn't the question.
Well, I'm allowed follow-up questions. My show.
Sure enough. Okay.
Plus 500 Casey for being correct. Plus 500 Burn T. Make it all here. Plus 500 Burn T. I've said that for years. Everything is assembled here, not made. Well, yeah, I mean, whatever loopholes the government's going to put in there, people are going to take advantage of the loopholes. Just get the government out of the damn way,
Yeah, and I mean, Trump said it before. He called him out for not paying taxes. He says, "You all made the laws. I just figured out how to make them work for me."
Yeah, well, and yeah, I mean, then he said to Hillary, I bet you your donors use the same loopholes I use.
Mm-hmm.
You would be stupid not to use tax loopholes, though, buddy. Like, they're there for people to be able to find them. But
absolutely,
well, I posted the other day that these laws are written as cryptics for other lawyers to decode them to save the elite money. So
100%.
Get rid of it all. Who's manufacturing? The small guys still manufacturing. Take all the burden off of them. Half of all small businesses fail in the first 5 years because of government regulations and oversight and licensing and all of those things. Get those out of the way, and it'll be, we'll have small manufacturers doing amazing things.
Yeah, they mostly fail because of bad management, though, buddy. That's why. Most people start businesses and they don't have a 5-year plan. And they're like, well, if I just make it this far or this far or this far, then they become employees of their own company, and then
No, but
they
it's
start losing the
that's an
income source.
SBA stat. I cite that all the time. That's SBA. I mean, half of all government or half of all businesses fail within the first 5 years due to government regulations and all of the fees and licenses and all, putting up with all that. I mean, you got to have a lawyer, you got to have accountants, you got to have all this stuff just to make widgets or whatever. Get them out of the damn way.
They
Eric
would still
says I'm
lose
the
the
only
money.
form of government he usually allows to intervene. So yeah, fair. All right, Trevor, to you. Should big tech companies be prohibited from using foreign labor?
How should big tech companies be prohibited from using foreign labor? I mean, I don't see how you could really stop it. I mean, you look at, um, I really don't have one on that one. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I don't see how you could
It
really
should be
stop.
illegal for them to use foreign tech support.
Yeah, that would be definite. I don't see how you could really stop them from using foreign labor. I mean, unless um, you pretty much invaded everything they do.
Well, the idea behind the question is, if you allow foreign nationals to have access to our data, is that a problem, really?
Oh, absolutely. Just like with TikTok.
So I went a step further and I said, should they be allowed to touch our data at all?
No, well, no, not foreign entities, no. And that, like I said, that's like with TikTok. If they would sell it, there would be no problem at all. But that's the reason China won't sell it, because that would defeat the purpose of why they made it.
But we should have the right to give our data to whoever we want to give our data to, right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but TikTok, the reason TikTok doesn't want to sell is because they're going to open the algorithm up, and then they're going to realize that those people that have millions of followers aren't real followers, and they're all bots generated by TikTok to generate those types of numbers. That's why they don't want to sell.
So Jim Bob says no to TikTok, but Zuckerberg's okay. Ryan says Elon has all the same data, still wrong.
Yeah, the data is gathered by every other company. I mean, people's information is the most valuable thing that I think a person can offer a company. Through it, how many times do you think your data gets scraped over and over and over again? It gets resold and resold and resold and resold. Like, there's no your information is everywhere already.
So
plus 100 to Trevor for accidentally discovering any type of government banning or intervention won't work. That's it won't. I mean,
how much of your data do you think is not already overseas? And I ask this because if you look, and I'm going to use the Philippines for example. I've done a lot of work in the Philippines. J.P. Morgan,
I love the Philippines.
Bank of America, all of your major financial institutions have offices there. They're doing a lot of work out of there. All your data is accessible out of there. You look at Hong Kong, you look at South Korea, China, Japan. It's the same thing. All of these large entities are already there. So how much of your data do you think you're protecting by not allowing foreign labor? I'm going to go back to Elon Musk's take on the H-1B, which I fully agree. He didn't say this. I'm going to agree with a lot of the people that descended from the H-1B process needs revised. But why wouldn't America want to be the melting pot of the greatest and smartest minds? And why wouldn't we want to leverage those resources to produce the best possible outcome? And that's just my opinion. And I know the question wasn't to me, but if we're going to sit here and discuss it, I mean, that's my position on that is let's get the best of the best involved in the U.S.
Yes.
That means that when we find out they're the best, we bring them here. We bring them over on an H-1B. We convert them to a permanent resident. We want the best and the brightest people in the world right here in America. But it starts, all your data is already available everywhere around the world.
Everywhere.
The H-1B whole program is corrupt, though. I mean, the three companies control the majority of H-1B visas. They put them all in apartment, in bunk beds, and they live like crap. And any company should be able to bring in someone that they want to work there, whether they're high skilled or whether they're manual labor. If people need labor, especially if we're going to jumpstart this economy that they've driven into the ground, we've got to have the labor available.
Buddy, what do you mean? What do you mean they put them into bunk beds? This is what I'm curious about. This
labor visa, right? H-1B is for skill. It's not your people that are working in a sweatshop, sewing shorts. That's for skilled labor, proven skilled labor. I sponsor a ton of H1s.
H1B, three companies in Silicon Valley control the majority of H1B visas. They bring in these people, they get housing for them, they throw them all into these apartments like migrant workers, and control their paychecks, all this stuff. It's a big scam.
I've never heard that in my life.
Because I'd have to disagree. I work for a large consulting company. We have a lot of people on H1Bs. I'm certain there's people that scam it. And again, I agree that it needs revised. That it's definitely a broken process, but it still enables large companies, large consulting firms to bring in the best and the brightest. And that doesn't take away from the fact that it needs revised, but it's still something that's critical to us being and remaining the greatest nation in the world.
Well, let me ask you a general question then. Do you think that more programs are like USAID, or do you think more programs are run well and fairly and efficiently and at a good price?
No, I think the majority of our government's like USAID.
Yeah. So, I mean, H-1B visas, I think, is exactly like USAID.
H-1B visa is a government agency. It's a process within, immigration, little bit different. Whereas USAID was a slush fund where they get assigned dollars and then nobody ever sees where those dollars are going. So
any large scale project within our government has been corrupted, and somebody has their hooks in, somebody's profiting off of it. Like every single program's like that, and especially anything involving immigration, the lawyers control it.
And the nonprofit and the churches start coming into it.
But in free, that's where I say it needs fixed, but it still has its place. Whereas USAID doesn't. USAID is taking taxpayer money and sending it over everywhere outside of the US and making everything but America first.
Right. I'm drawing a parallel that you think, Trump and his administration are shedding light finally on how broken these things are. Mm-hmm. Things are usually to the level of broken of USAID, not to the level of they're actually working pretty well. Maybe with a little tweak, they would run perfectly. I think the government is severely inefficient and broken.
No, again, that's a different debate. The question is on H-1B, and I use H-1B all the time. And while it has problems, it still brings a value to America First agenda.
I mean, I'm telling you, that's the stat. 3 companies control the majority of those visas. I'm not saying some of them don't work out. I'm just saying that it's a scam run by 3 companies for the most part.
Well, I mean, and you have stats on paper, and I have stats in actual practice. So.
Yeah, I've never heard that. Which are the 3 companies, Free?
I'd have to pull it up. I don't have it in front of me.
No.
Yeah, no. In practical application, I can tell you that there is a benefit to it. Now, is it broken? Are these 3 companies probably taking advantage of some shit? Do they have better attorneys? I don't freaking know. I don't have that stat. I haven't researched it to that level to know what's going on in Silicon Valley. I know it's a company, and it's got a value. We are bringing in the best and the brightest. When we have people that don't know a certain type of code in COBOL, and we can find them in India,
absolutely,
here, and they want to work on site with our clients, and they bring a value add. They absolutely add to America First.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can do a space on this sometimes, because I have all sorts of stats on this, and I think it's. Well,
I was talking with somebody about this, that I think because Elon did have that entire H-1B visa conversation. Can you imagine what happens when you're trying to build a company that's massively productive, and then you have the entitled type of programmers that are coming out of companies like the old Twitter or Google that are like, where's my latte cafe, massage room? And then you got these kids in India that are like, all they want to do is program and program. Of course, you're going to want to pull the H-1Bs. It's that simple. Well, I don't want the talent.
One of the things I discovered, and I discovered this back in 2004, I had a programmer that worked for me. And you have so many of these people in the U.S. that feel so entitled because we've told them how pretty they are for so long. I mean, this kid was writing code, but he was writing code where everything he made so convoluted so that he was guaranteeing himself job security. And I fired the kid for it. Right? I said, hey, I don't care how bad you wrote it. I can bring somebody else in that'll reprogram this in 2 weeks.
Oh,
But
yeah.
in the U.S., you bring somebody in from India, they're not worried about it. They're here on an H-1B. They know they're not getting fired as long as they bust their ass.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's go back to it then.
My point is there's a place for it. It's broken, I agree. There's things that we need to fix, but it still helps us to bring the best and the brightest to the U.S. to be America first.
Or it helps us to undercut our own kids that are graduating from college with the same degrees too. I mean,
yeah, I hire those kids and they graduate and they think they've won $120,000 fresh off of a degree without proving themselves. So,
well, probably because the government charged them $250,000 for the degree. You know, I mean, again, the government is the common denominator of suckiness in all of these things.
Yep.
Well, I think it also has to do with false pretenses because, like, I didn't want to go to college, but my dad was like, "Oh no, buddy, you're going to college." And I was like, "No, I don't really need to go to college because I'm working on my company." And he goes, "You don't go to college to go make money." He goes, "You go to college to prove to yourself you can do something you don't want to do, just like getting married." So that's the other problem is I think a lot of people are expecting that as soon as they graduate college, just because they checked a few things off their list, that they're automatically going to end up plus, with their finances. I mean, it doesn't work.
Let's jump to the next one here. We got hung up on this one for a while. Andy, to you, should the Federal Reserve be audited annually?
Yeah, I get audited annually. The Federal Reserve should get audited annually.
Burn-in. Should foreign-owned corporations be taxed at a higher rate than U.S. corporations?
Yeah. You want me to elaborate here? Because that one's easy.
Well, the rules say you can give a sentence with it if you want.
I mean, so should they be taxed at a higher rate? Yes, they're not a U.S. entity. It's doing the work in the U.S. should come at a lower rate. Period. Trevor, if you're talking about the U.S., but you're in freaking China, you should pay more.
Trevor, should businesses be allowed to refuse service based on political beliefs?
You've given them that one twice.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to the other one. You're right.
Yeah.
The other one was religious beliefs, not political beliefs, but
right. I mean, back in the 50s, they refused business for just about anything. So, I mean, that would be a situational. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it's different. Like we were talking earlier, if because I'm a Christian. If a transgender comes into my bakery and I should not be forced to bake them a cake. But if a guy comes in,
this one was specifically politics. Like if somebody goes in wearing a Trump hat.
If a guy comes in and says, "Hey, I voted for Joe Biden," I mean, I couldn't not bake his cake because he voted for Joe Biden.
So, and Trevor, I don't know if you're old enough to remember this. Somebody else might be, but you used to walk into a business and every business had a sign that said up, "We reserve the right to refuse service to anybody."
No, they still do here.
You're a business owner. You reserve the right to refuse service to anybody. Now, is it
That's
right
true.
to refuse on political beliefs? Not really. But if you own a business, you shouldn't be forced to do business with anybody you don't want to.
Amen.
That's true. That's true.
Amen.
All right, I think we're through this now. All right, Andy, go ahead and give or take away 500 points to your competitors here.
Andy, you're on mute.
Minus 500, Andy, for not understanding how the mute button works.
Well, I know. Listen, because I was singing.
You're on mute again, Andy.
Eating me. Oh, listen. So, I think Freeze keeps.
I don't know what you're doing, Andy.
I see the little sign there, but
maybe you need an H-1B visa to figure out how to work your mute button there.
I know. Vernon, I need you to send me somebody
from China to come over and work that button for you.
I know.
But don't bring
That
him in my
stupid
bag.
microphone you made, Baba. You made me buy a microphone that doesn't even work on my computer. Listen, I'm going to give 500 points to Trevor because I have a feeling I'm going to be in the lead here. So
Probably
There you
need
go.
it.
Oh, cocky. All right. All right. Burning T. What do
Well,
you think
no,
about
I'm trying
that?
to help my brother out here.
Burning T.
I
What do
mean,
you think about the cockiness from Andy there that can't work his mute button?
Yeah, I mean, there's that. So
look at the chat.
I'm going to give my full 500 points to Free for having a healthy debate.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. It went toe to toe. It was good. Trevor.
Yeah, this is a good show.
Trevor, to you.
I'm gonna split my points between Andy and Burning T for all the different hats that Burning T's displayed tonight.
Burning T's got the hats going on, that's for sure.
For sure.
All right, so I got way behind on the comments because we were debating there. So Casey says taxation is theft. Casey says ban TikTok. 500 to Andy.
Told you I'm making a comeback.
Muting himself. Andy and Jim Bob spent a decade in the Philippines together. That sounds steamy. The amazing amount of information folks can buy as a candidate. Oh yeah, what they can sell our candidates for office is insane. It's too late. They already have access to our data. All of big tech, our info's everywhere. Oh, what I wanted to say is the lovely Terry Batts did a great space on this and was talking about the Department of Education gives our children's data away to foreign governments. So you want to talk about problems that need to stop them. That's a huge one right there. Oh, here we go. Now we're stripping. I lose 500 points. I thought first one to take clothes off was going to be Andy. I that was in. Not only did I bet that straight, but I bet that trifecta as well.
Look, I had a wardrobe change planned.
There we go. Luckily, it wasn't a wardrobe malfunction like Janet Jackson. So
yeah, exactly.
And then see, ranch advocate.
He did that on
immigration. Now he's an immigrant. Minus 499. At least he didn't ding you the whole 500. 500 Burning T. We want the best. 500 to Andy for loving the Philippines.
Walking Street in English City. Go ahead.
Ryan said, if H-1B immigrants have a child in the U.S., are those children citizens? Minus 500. Anybody says no. 500 Trevor, if he straightens his mirror and uses my OCD. Don't watch the Joe episode. He looks like he's got a chandelier on the wall. It's the weirdest damn thing. Plus 100 to Andy for disliking young people. Plus 100 to Andy for disliking marriage. Minus 200 because my wife was listening. How long until Andy finds out free can mute him? Well, might have already figured that one out. Plus 300 to Trevor for giving a good Elon Musk impression. Plus 500 to Ranch for giving his points to Free. That worked out nicely for Burning there. Nice. All right, we got through them here. All right, next category.
What's the score? What's the score right now?
Oh yeah, hold on a second.
Let me see.
To do everything.
Come on, Banna. That way I can decide where the points are going for the next round.
Casey's my support on this, and he decided to take the night off. So, all right.
H-1B visa, buddy. Told you, bring somebody else in.
Andy's losing negative 600. Oh, well, I mean, Mike's negative 20,114. And then Trevor in positive territory with 200. Burning with some bold opinions getting him 3577. So, which is amazing because he's got negative 3,700 as well. So your swing is like over 7,000 at this point. So that's pretty impressive. So
hey, I always say you don't have to agree with me, just know your position.
No, it's making it fun, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so next category, fill in the meme. So what we do here is part of the meme will be blanked out, and you have to guess which part has been blanked out. So Andy, to you, the entire text has been blanked out here.
The DNC.
Burning to you.
Oh, we're going to go with the last 4 years.
Trevor, to you.
I want to say Joe Biden's breath.
Oh shit.
We got close on those, and it's actually if the Democratic Party was a scented candle.
Oh, that's good.
Andy, to you, we would like to congratulate blank.
We would like to
blanked out the wrong
congratulate.
part.
What?
We'd like
Blanked
to
out the wrong
congratulate
part?
blank for
H1BVs
winning the
are
war
people.
on drugs. We'd like to
We
congratulate
would like to
blank
con-
for winning the war on drugs.
We would like to congratulate Hunter for what do you mean? For
It's
winning
just
the war
the
on
second.
drugs?
Ignore the second blank. That's an error. We would like to congratulate blank for winning the war on drugs. So you said Hunter.
Oh, well, yeah, I was just filling in one at a time. Yeah, I mean, I guess Hunter. I have nothing.
Vernon, we would like to
Nice
congratulate blank for winning the war on drugs.
Diddy.
Trevor,
Diddy.
we would like to congratulate blank for winning the war on drugs.
Anthony Fauci.
Yeah.
Nobody
Shit.
got this. We would like to congratulate drugs for winning the war on drugs. $1 trillion on
Valid.
the war on drugs. More drugs now than ever. So drugs won the war on drugs in America.
That's true.
Yeah, all
Andy, to
all
you.
the memes that I watch involve Kamala. Okay.
Andy, to
I'm
you.
ready.
Here we go. Notice the blonde yet, and then blank. Notice the blonde yet, and then blank.
Notice the blonde yet? And then what did her shirt say?
Yep.
I am the blonde. I don't know.
Burning.
Got
Notice
I have
the
no idea. I've
blonde
never
yet,
seen
and
this
then
crap.
blank.
Got milk?
That's a good answer. Trevor, notice the blonde yet, and then blank.
I'm stupid.
So the correct answer is notice the blonde yet.
I'll take the blonde.
Epstein
I like the
was
blonde.
murdered.
Oh, shit. That makes sense. I can't
This
believe
is a
we missed
political
that.
show.
Yeah.
All right.
Vernon T stole my answer.
It should have been Epstein didn't kill himself if you really want to do it.
That's fair.
Look, I've got my glass on the bar that says Epstein didn't hang himself. So
Yeah.
All right. Andy, back to you.
Okay.
A paper straw and a plastic wrapper, blank, and a single picture.
Oh, that's hypocrisy. Hypocrisy? Or an
Burn into you.
oxymoron? I don't know.
I think I have this
These
meme
memes
saved
suck.
on my computer somewhere.
A paper straw and a plastic wrapper, blank, and a single picture.
Environmental change.
Oh man.
I know this
See,
one.
Trevor, a
These main
paper
things-
straw and a plastic
Climate
wrapper,
change.
blank, and a single picture.
I'm going to say climate change.
It's gotta be climate change. It's gotta be.
Paper straw and a plastic wrapper, the green movement in a single picture.
Oh. We really-
Joe says minus 200 to everyone for knowing points before the contest is over, identifying with California too much. Minus 500 Andy for not understanding how the game works.
Nobody understands how the game works.
It's a
Nobody.
blank, man. It's a blank. Like what did you go to a government?
There was
school?
two blanks. Yeah, private school, but they're two blanks.
All right. Andy, to you. So you're okay with vaccine companies being sued out of business?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Burn it to you. 100
I
points to
have
Andy.
to get points on this. Thank you, buddy.
Burning the Mexican bartender when I tell him what? The Mexican
Extra
bartender
ice.
when I
Oh,
tell
shit.
him what?
No mas.
Trevor, the Mexican bartender when I tell him what?
You need a ride?
Oh shit.
Andy, the Mexican bartender when I tell him what?
Extra ice.
I want ice.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, see, there you go. That was
Andy
close.
understood it. See, it just takes him a little while to warm up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
that
Bernie, to
guy
you.
makes me uncomfortable.
Plus 500 to Trevor for not falling for that blonde joke.
That's funny.
All right. Let's see. Next one to Burnin. what the left promises, and then
What the
what?
left-
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
What the left delivers.
What the left delivers. 100 points to Burnin.
Nice.
So, Trevor, the blank for dummies. The
What is
what
it?
for dummies. One side's
Oh.
landfill, one side's recycle.
Oh,
The
yeah.
blank for dummies.
Climate change for dummies. I don't know.
All right, Andy, to you. Whoops.
The John Kerry.
What is it?
John Kerry. Yeah.
Burnin, to you.
The two-party system for dummies.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. I'll give it to you though. 100 points. All right.
See, I thought it was a hand dryer, one of them paper.
That's what I thought it was.
Plus 500 to Andy because no one knows how to play. That's fair.
Thanks, buddy Stitch.
I
I got
Trevor,
a
to you.
USAID employees in here.
What people think blank, what it's actually like. What people
USAID.
think blank, what it's actually like.
The government.
Andy, to you.
What people think is reality or is real.
To you.
USAID.
What people think paying taxes is like. They pave the roads, the old thing.
Ah,
It's
yeah.
actually like
I got it.
USAID to terrorists. So, all right. Trevor, to you. Federal workers getting fired for refusing the vaccine. Federal workers getting fired for what?
Not showing up to the office.
Andy, federal workers getting fired for refusing the vaccine. Federal workers getting fired for what?
What? This is. I hate these memes. Let me see. Federal workers getting fired for using the
Next time,
vaccine.
next time you're on, I'll do
refusing-
coloring book pages for you.
Yeah, I know. I like
Maybe
those a
with,
lot.
like
I
some
think
numbers.
getting fired for. I don't know. I have no idea. For not doing their job or not showing up to the office. I don't fucking know.
That's what Trevor said. Try to keep up here.
Oh.
Burnin. Federal workers getting fired for refusing the vaccine. Federal workers getting fired for what?
What would outrage that chick as opposed to make her excited?
I know it's so. Her face
These
is
are
weird.
timely if
for
you
doing their
think
job. I don't know.
Yeah. Wasting tax dollars. What they're all getting fired for now.
Got it.
Trevor, to you. We
Yeah, I
must
thought the answer was going to be funnier.
We must deport all illegal criminals right now. The middle one has a blank.
Not her. 'cause
We
she's
must
hot.
deport all illegal criminals right now. The middle one has a blank.
Not her. She's hot.
Not you. Not you. Andy, to you.
Yeah.
If you're incapable of criticizing your favorite politician, what?
You are sponsored by USAID. I don't fucking know. I suck at this.
Burnin' T. If you're incapable of criticizing your favorite politician,
You're a
what?
sheep. You're a sheep. You can't
Trevor,
think
if you're incapable of criticizing your favorite politician, what?
You're a political hack.
You guys are close. If you're incapable of criticizing your favorite politician, you are in a cult.
Ah.
Andy,
God, that was
to
right
you,
there.
if you're
So
in,
easy.
You don't need an AR-15. What? You don't need an
You
AR.
don't need an AR-15. You don't need an AR-15. Who doesn't need one though? You don't need an AR-15. I can't come up with a reason why you would not need an AR-15. Not one. I think everybody should have an AR-15 at least one time.
Burn and
Uh,
T. You don't need an
I have no idea.
AR-15. What?
I lost all mine in the boating accident, but you don't need an AR-15 for hunting. But the Constitution or the Second Amendment was not written so that we could hunt.
Trevor, you don't need an AR-15.
Okay.
What?
Just let the illegals come into your house.
The correct answer is you don't need an AR-15. You need 2 or maybe 3 or 4 or possibly 5.
Jesus
I
Christ.
believe I didn't get that.
I can't believe that.
Woodcraft says maybe showing you a Polaroid would help. -2.
That would help. Yeah.
Plus 500 to Andy. We should all have AR-15s. Possibly
Amen.
2, 3, 4.
Or 2.
Possibly
3
5.
or 4 or 5.
Yep. It is to who is it? To Burn? Or no,
We're
back
back
to
to
Andy, I think. Libertarians, MAGA, the people who what? Libertarians, MAGA, the people who what?
Watch The View.
Burn-in, libertarians,
Watch The View.
MAGA, the people who what?
I was going to say, watch MSM.
Yeah, there you go.
Trevor, libertarians, MAGA, the people who what?
Who pee sitting down.
Correct answer, libertarians, MAGA, the people who want to search for government fraud to end.
No doubt.
Oh, that's same people that watch The View.
Yep. All right, Andy, to you. Giant mural of Greta Thunberg in San Francisco. Imagine that face watching you blank.
Watching me.
Giant mural of Greta Thunberg in San Francisco. Imagine that face watching you what?
I don't know. That woman has a handcuff fetish. I'm convinced of it. I don't know, buddy. I'm really bad at these memes.
Burn
that face watching
Giant
you.
mural of Greta Thunberg in San Francisco. Imagine that face watching you blank.
Drive a gas-fueled vehicle.
Buy a diesel. Oh man.
Trevor, giant mural of Greta Thunberg in San Francisco. Imagine that face watching you blank.
Eat a steak.
Correct answer is giant mural of Greta Thunberg in San Francisco. Imagine that face watching you poop in the street. San Francisco.
Why does she look like the caveman from the Geico commercial?
It's not flattering.
I don't know.
It seems like a bad picture to use for 3 stories of her.
She has a handcuff fetish. 100%. This chick.
Sherry says 200 to Andy. We all need an AR-15.
Thank you very much, Sherry.
Smoking pole. Deny climate
Call me
change
later.
was Joseph's answer. All right. Andy, back to you. How do you tell who's telling the truth? Blank. How do you tell who's telling the truth?
Why am I'm like overthinking these things. How do you tell who's telling the truth?
Or you possibly could not be thinking at all. I really could go either way on that one.
It's either way. The spectrum is pretty wide. How do you tell who's telling the truth? I don't know, buddy.
How do you
I have
tell
no
who's
idea.
telling the truth? Blank.
You didn't even give us one letter on the bottom one, bro.
Well, I didn't realize that this was going to be like you did mention the short bus in one of the posts, so I should have gone back and edited these. All right,
Yeah.
Skip you burning. How do you tell who's telling the truth? Blank.
The ones who aren't using a teleprompter.
That's
Oh,
good.
that's a good answer. I'm going to give him
Trevor.
plus 1,000 of my points.
How do you tell who's telling the truth? Blank.
How do you tell who's telling the truth? They're lying eyes. I don't know.
How do you tell who's telling the truth? The ones trying to silence the other people are the ones that are lying.
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
That's good.
right.
I like the teleprompter one better, though.
Yeah.
See, that's what
good
I
one.
like about this game is that was definitely the best answer right there.
Yeah,
That's the best. That answer is really good.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Andy, to you, blank, watching every other Latino getting deported out of the U.S.
Watching every other Latino get deported out of the U.S. Me watching every other Latino getting deported out of the U.S. I don't fucking know.
Burning.
There you go. Me.
Blank watching every other Latino getting deported out of the U.S.
Waiting my turn.
Trevor, blank watching every other Latino getting deported out of the U.S.
Tom Homan.
Cielo had it.
Oh.
Puerto Ricans watching every other Latino getting deported out of the U.S.
Didn't think of that.
Cielo got
Andy,
it.
you should have had that one, man. That was teed up for you right there.
Yeah, totally.
AOC would have been a good one too. All right, Andy, it's great that Doge is slashing federal waste, but Peter, if Doge attacks USAID today, then they could go after the Postal Service, IRS, Social Security Administration, or NSA next. Peter responds, what?
That's the plan. No? I don't know. That's the plan?
Burn and T. I'm not going to read it again. Doge
Good.
slashing waste, but they could do these next. What?
Good.
Good. Yeah. But it's
Trevor,
You mean they're all corrupt?
correct answer is they could go after Postal Service, IRS, Social Security, NSA next. I already said it's great. You don't have to sell me on it.
Jesus. I am not a meme maker. This is awesome.
Yeah,
You're,
these have like
that's
typical
good. You
responses.
gotta send me that one. Yeah, you gotta send me that one. That one's good.
That's
I gotta
what
send
we
that to
voted
my
for.
father-in-law.
That's a great answer too.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
I gotta send that to my ex-father-in-law.
Andy, the system is broken and must be fixed. And the response is what?
The system is broken and must be fixed. The system can't be fixed ever. Or I don't know. The system doesn't work.
System's broken and must be fixed. What?
I mean, you called on burning, so I'm going to say burn it to the ground.
Fair. Trevor, to you. System is broken and must be fixed. The response is what?
Doge it.
The system is broken and must be fixed. The system is working exactly as intended and must be dismantled.
God, that's a good answer. That's a really good answer. Whoever comes up with these memes is really good.
Delete the system. Yep.
Yeah, look, this woman knows.
She's good. She's better.
Oh, she's freaking
Andy.
awesome.
She's better.
Oh, she's.
Boy, did I pick the
she's
wrong
much
candidates
better
for this.
I know, and I should have asked her to come on here because she's freaking awesome.
All right. So, Andy, to you, see if you can go for the whole thing. 20 years of arguing with leftists, and then the other side is what?
20 years of
arguing with leftists, and then the other side is what?
Ah, shit. Divorce, leaving the divorce court.
Burn and T, 20 years of arguing with leftists. The other side is what?
4 years of Trump.
That's a good answer. Trevor, 20 years of arguing with leftists. The other side is what?
20 years of arguing with leftists. I don't know. When you're proven right, I don't know.
500 for calling her awesome. Well done. 20 years of arguing with leftists. The other side is defunding their networks.
Go on.
That's a bad answer.
Andy, to you. Watching bureaucrats you fired blank. Watching bureaucrats you
fired. Go on MSM. I don't know. Go on MSNBC and complain about it. I don't know, bro. These are really hard. These memes, buddy.
Burn and T. Watching bureaucrats you fired. What?
Completely meltdown.
Trevor, watching bureaucrats you fired. What?
Clean out their desk.
Correct
that's
answer
a good one.
is watching bureaucrats you fired drive away in cars you made.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's really good. That one's really good. That's freaking awesome.
It's a perfect
That is
picture of
perfect.
Elon for that too. It's
Oh,
perfect.
buddy, that's freaking. You got to send me that one too. I got to send it to Mike's father-in-law. That's awesome.
All right. Next to you, Andy.
That's,
Really big red pills. The true intent of all government programs is to what? Really big red pills.
is to the true intent of all is to
What's the red pill?
Make-
The true intent of all government
make-
programs is to what?
to make them make you need them.
Burning T. The true intent of all government programs is to what?
Control your thinking.
Trevor. The true intent of all government programs is to what?
waste your tax dollars.
The true intent of all government programs is to enrich politicians and their cronies.
Oh man, I
Andy,
thought I had
to
that
you.
one.
When
God.
you tell
Oh,
a
I listened- I
socialist not
Alfonso
to,
Rivera.
when you tell a socialist not to what, they respond, "You are so selfish." When you tell a socialist not to what, they respond, "You are so selfish."
Bro, I don't know. But side note, I had the Alfonso Rivera breakdancing kit. I don't know, buddy.
I almost
You
want
tell
to
a
count that as
socialist-
your answer because it's the closest you've been so far.
When you tell a socialist not to, you are so. I don't know, bro. I cannot do this stuff. When you tell a
Burning.
socialist
When you
not
tell a
to-
socialist not to
Cielo,
what,
cielo.
they respond, "You are so selfish."
Not to believe
Socialist
everything you
not-
hear.
Trevor, when you tell a socialist not to
no.
what, they respond, "You are so selfish."
When you tell a socialist not to lie.
Correct answer is when you tell a socialist not to hurt others and take their things, they respond, "You are so selfish." Andy, I hate thinking. Me too. He responds blank, and she says, "Okay." I hate thinking. Me
I hate
too.
thinking.
Blank.
Me too.
Okay. You got to remember who the source of these are too. That's your little hint here. I hate
I don't
thinking.
know
Me
who
too.
the source is. I hate me. I hate
No, I
thinking.
mean that
Me
I
too.
picked them is what I'm saying.
Oh, bro. Me too. Cielo, help me out here. I have no idea, but I can't do this crap, bro. I hate thinking. Me too.
We got that. Burning.
Wanna-
I hate thinking. Me
wanna-
too. Blank. Okay.
Vote Democrat.
Oh, you're on the right path. Trevor,
Oh.
I hate thinking. Me too. Blank. Okay.
When I have sex.
I hate thinking. Me too.
That's what I'd
Let's
say.
just trust our government. Okay.
Ah, Jesus.
Andy's getting
You already had it. Look at her.
Andy's getting disgruntled.
No,
That's like the best subplot of this that I did not anticipate at
You
all.
have to mute him again, Free.
No, I'm definitely not this one. I'm like, the meme thing is really freaking hard. I'm not even joking.
Oh man, luckily I don't have memes in like grade school. All right, Andy, to you. What's your favorite flavor? Watermelon, green apple, cherry, blue raspberry. What? Again, remember that I'm the one that picked this. The answer is not going to be I love Hillary Clinton.
Grape. That's grape flavor.
Okay, burn it.
Isn't that grape, bro?
It's what your favorite. What's your? It's a meme. Okay. There's
what's
a
my favorite
joke
flavor?
under there. This is not a taste test. It's a meme.
Yeah, you
Burn
can
it.
skip me on that. I got nothing for Jolly Ranchers.
Trevor,
What's
your favorite flavor? Watermelon, green apple, cherry, blue raspberry. What? You're getting sympathy points, Andy.
Yeah, that's my boy. You're my boy, Blue.
I'm gonna say
Where do you find these memes? I want to know that.
Oh man, this
I have sources.
Oh.
man, I don't know. I'm gonna.
I'll just give it to you. It is
Elizabeth Warren.
tax evasion.
ah.
Oh.
You got to remember the source. I'm the one that picked this. All right, Andy,
Okay.
to you. Who wants to deport farm workers? Everybody. The
Who
second
wants to
question,
deport
nobody.
40% of? Who wants to deport 40% of farm workers? And then you're gonna have to do the work.
Ooh, close. Burning.
Oh,
Who wants to deport
Jesus.
40% of farm workers?
Who wants to deport the criminal illegals?
Trevor. Who wants to deport the farm workers?
I better get this.
Who wants to pick crops?
You guys were close. Who wants to pay more for groceries?
I thought that you're gonna have to work is gonna be. That was pretty much on point.
All right. It's the White House. It's a beware sign. Beware of what, Andy?
Depends.
Burning.
Intelligent life.
Trevor.
Well, it depends on if we're talking about the Biden White House. I would say.
I said they were. I
Major-
said they were timely. I don't know why they think I'm
Oh, okay.
still in the Biden administration. It's been like a month.
Beware common sense.
Beware of Doge.
Of Doge. That's good. Now I get it.
That's
I
All
like-
right, Andy, to you. The Fed. We're going
Ah,
to use
shit.
all of our tools to fix the economy. They're tools, and there's one button. We're going to use all of
War.
our tools to fix the economy. Their tools are what?
War is how they normally fix economies.
That's true. Burning. The Fed says we're going to use all of our tools to fix the economy. Their tools are what?
Misinformation.
Trevor, we're going to use all of our tools to fix the
USAID.
economy. Their tools are what?
Lies.
Print money.
No.
All right, you open the ship. Bobby Kennedy's looking at you. What's he saying? Andy.
What was he saying when I open a bag of chips? Don't eat this. These are hard.
Burning.
I don't know what he was saying.
There's only one more after this, so just stick with
What's
me.
bad is I think Cielo responded
Say
to one of my posts with this meme. I could be wrong on it being her, but I think it was her. And I can't remember what the hell it said.
I thought you guys had
Yeah.
seen like half.
Yellow
These.
says
That's
it's
why I put
500
more.
sit-ups.
Trevor, what do you think it says?
Can you believe my cousin Caroline didn't support me?
That's really good.
That bitch.
Yeah.
Bobby Kennedy is saying, "I'm disappointed in you." All right, last one, a fun one to end up on. Andy,
All right, good. Thank God. Oh shit! You got to send me this. Stitch. This
What's it titled?
is.
what's it
Oh,
titled?
buddy, this. I don't. Hold on. You got to give me 1 second on this thing because this is freaking hilarious.
I'm gonna hit
This
the.
is
I'm gonna hit the
called-
pause. I'll give Vernon T a chance to steal it. You can think. We'll come back to you, Vernon.
Okay,
Yeah.
go.
It's the DNC.
DNC. Trevor.
Senator Robert
Bravo.
Byrd's birthday.
Oh, that's great. Trevor's pretty good at that.
Handy.
Andy, what do you think?
Putting the cap on handicap.
Ooh, very, very close. The correct
Was
answer
it?
is handicap.
Handicap. Oh man, come on. That was close as hell. That's freaking so good. I was trying to come up with something with triple KKK.
All right. We're
Okay.
at the end here. Let's do the scores. And
I better be.
I'm not even going to go through the comments
Oh,
because we're running long.
shit.
But hold on, I got to hit refresh though. All right.
Ah,
So
my-
here we are with the scores. We've got Trevor in last at 500, Andy second, 717, Burnin running away with the 2477. So the way this goes is there's a semifinal and a final. The bottom two participate in the semifinal, and then whoever wins that round goes against, in this case, Burnin, who's in the lead. And so Burnin, I will put you backstage for a minute while we do the semifinal, and then whoever wins that round will play you. Got it?
Got it.
Vernon was getting
All right.
slaughtered by the freaking chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Come on, chat.
Who was in last? Wait. All right.
Me,
Trevor
at
was in
least.
last. So Trevor, you
Probably
answer
me.
first here.
Okay.
And I'm supposed to say that I don't have the cool sound machine, so I always go sudden death. That's you like that with the outline of the Statue of Liberty, the crime scene.
Bro, you have to put up Eric Johnson's comment. That shit wins. Ku Klux can't. I can't recover from that. Ku Klux
Oh my God.
dead.
Minus
Dead.
300
He
to me for
wins
not
the
muting you
entire
again.
show.
Cielo what said
Go to
250 for you to go to meme
Memes.
school, by the way. And then you're getting
Bro,
deported. Or Mike's getting deported.
yeah, you got to Ku Klux can't. Oh, I hope Burden can hear that crap out there.
I'm not allowed to say what Eric may or may not be working on right now, but if you like that, you're gonna really like Eric. So follow
Man,
Eric.
tell him make sure to follow
Eric
me.
is
He has to
amazing.
follow me.
Eric is amazing.
That oh man, that watered my eyeballs. That was funny.
Thanks, Yellow. All right. So Trevor, to you. How do we fix crony capitalism? How do we fix crony capitalism?
Oh, I know this answer.
Fix crony capitalism. Get government
Ku
out of
Klux
the way.
can't. Oh man, that's my answer. Ku Klux can't. I can't recover from this. What happened?
No, give like a whole answer, like almost like a debate style answer, if you don't mind.
Well, we have to let. Here's my thing. If everybody remembers when the camcorder first came out, or the cell phone first came out, or the microwave, they cost like $800 or $1,000. Because of capitalism, now everybody has one in their home. Everybody has a flat screen TV now, thanks to capitalism. So you got to get the government out of the way, I think. Regulation kills everything. Being a small, my parents owned a sporting goods store when I was a kid, and it got to the point where, and my entire family was pretty much capital. So I mean, we're all small business owners, but you just got to get government and regulation out of the way. I think it strangles small business and a lot of times. So that's about what I got.
Yes. That was pretty good, Trevor. I liked it. I thought that was a good answer.
Thank you, Andy. It probably wasn't, but
All right, Andy, you're here.
I can't even remember the question. What was it? I'm still stuck on this. Ku Klux Klan. How do we fix crony capitalism? Crony capitalism. Oh man, crony capitalism. You have to remove the politicians from the regulations. That's the problem, because the people that are doing the regulating are the ones that are getting all the kickbacks. So you just got to remove the freaking government, man, from any type of capitalism. I mean, all of it, all of it. I don't know.
All right, let me add Burnin
That's the
back
only
here.
answer. That's the only
Vernon-
answer, buddy.
Burnin, what do you think there? Who do you think won that round? Checking the chat to see what they think.
Did you see the Ku Klux can't comment? I'm still. I'm
I
still that's so
redeemed
bad.
myself with the last one. Like
You gotta send me that. Oh yeah, buddy.
There
That
were a
was
couple
all worth
words
it.
in there, but
I,
yeah, that
I
one.
don't know. Can I toss a coin on this? So the is heads, the Secret Service star is tails.
Okay,
What do you call it?
call it, see it, Trevor.
You want me to call
Call it, Trevor. Yeah, you call it. You can call it. I'm still laughing at my Ku Klux
it?
Klan.
Heads.
It was tails. So Andy won.
Bam! Told ya.
All right, Trevor,
50-50
hang out
mathematics.
backstage for a second here while we do the finals, and we'll bring you right back. Okay.
All right.
Thanks. All right. Final question here. Andy will go first because he is the challenger. What should we do about the national debt? What should we do about the national debt? Andy, go.
The national debt should be. It has to be paid off, even though the national debt needs to be paid off, and it needs to be paid off with tariffs. That's how it has to be paid off. The income tax has to be abolished, and that's how we pay it off and stop government spending. I mean, that's the only things you can do to pay it off. There's nothing else we can do. What else do you want to do?
To you.
I mean, Andy touched on it. It's eliminating wasteful spending. It's reducing the size of government. It's focusing on, government that's in the national interest, such as security, military, things of that nature. We don't need to be using the IRS to go after, all our middle income people to try and tax us to no end. You touched on, I mean, tariffs, but tariffs to me are more of a negotiation point to increase, revenue generated within the United States. So you use tariffs as a negotiation point, not to actually inflate prices, but to force more work over here and increase, wages and revenue within the U.S. But the biggest one is just the wasteful spending. I mean, Doge, right? It's there's a reason why Doge is in place, and it's to go in and it's to shut down all the waste. And we saw it with, USAID, and you're going to see it with the U.S. Department of Education, and you're going to see it, across the Bureau of Labor and every other agency that they go into. I want to say, and I read a statistic at one point, that the federal government employs 20% of the national workforce.
Yep.
It does not take 20% of a country to run a country. So significant elimination. I think the government, when Doge is all said and done, it may not be Doge by the time they're done with this, it's going to have another name, but our government needs to be reduced by 95%. And that's going to eliminate the national debt, period. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
I actually looked it up recently, and I think it's 20% is all levels of government. I thought it was bigger too. I thought it was actually over a quarter, but it's all levels of government. But I mean, that's still a ridiculously huge number. It's like it's absolutely insane.
One in four people are employed by the government.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nuts.
That means 5 of us pay them.
All right, so in the chat, tell us who you think won. We got Andy and we've got Burn T. Trevor, who you think won there?
Listen, how much of the government do you think is actually on like their pensions and stuff like that?
Well, that's what I always talk about is that's the unfunded liabilities. So the national debt's 36 trillion. The estimates on the unfunded liabilities are 200 to 250 trillion. And so
yeah, it's freaking crazy.
Yeah, and I figured it out, every 10,000 federal employees we fire will, just in the unfunded liabilities, it'll save us $1 trillion. So for every 10,000 we get rid of, that's $1 trillion. So, I mean, it's just got to go. I mean, it's just, there's no money there. Alyssa says it needs to be negotiated with whom it's owed and find a negotiated agreement. Trump can do it.
Well,
South Africa hit with aid suspension. Chris said it's a tie. What do you think? Trevor, did you have an answer there?
I mean, yeah, they both touched on it. Burning T might have went a little more in depth than Andy did, but yeah, they both touched. I mean, they both pretty much covered it. But yeah, Burning T probably.
And then while people are getting their answers, and I'd just like to give you guys a chance to plug whatever you want to plug, give your contact, your handle out and all that stuff. Trevor, you got a bunch of stuff going on. Do you want to go first?
My handle is at TreyThack24 on X. Burning T and I, we host Fighting the Uniparty Space on Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard. We've recently got fully engulfed here in the rhino removal project, so that's a big thing. And yeah, I mean, we'd encourage everybody to follow Vernon and Andy and you free and just support everybody. We got to stick together.
Amen. There's your handle too. Well said.
Yeah,
Vernon,
I can't believe I wasn't
anything you wanna
following
talk
Trevor
about?
before.
What was that?
Vernon? Yeah. Do you want to just give out your handle and anything you want to promote as well?
I mean, look, I'm not about self-promotion. I'm at Burning T Ranch, no G. But I think a lot of the folks that have been speaking, we follow one another, and I appreciate everybody spending a part of their Friday evening with us. And for those that don't know, we adopted Woody and Maddie from D-Bark, and if you want to follow us and continue to keep an eye on how they progress, you're encouraged to do so.
And there you go. There's your contact information and your lovely wife there. It seems like all my friends outkick their coverage on their wives. That's all I have to say on that.
Oh, absolutely. I'm married up. I'm married up.
And Andy, to you, anything you want to talk about? Give out your handle.
No. Oh, my handle. Everybody in the chat knows who. I mean, look at that. But no, I want to promote you because first of all, Free has. Oh, look, she already got a message. This show is the first of its kind today. It's been super fun. The guys have been awesome, and I don't have anything else to promote, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Sherry's in the crowd. Terry's there. Stitch. I don't know. It's Yellow.
Thank you.
Follow all those people. Awesome.
Appreciate that. You've been very nice and appreciate, Andy's giving me a lot of advice on this and, a lot of constructive information to make it better. And, really appreciate that because it's just, me in my spare bedroom pulling this off. So, and then obviously all the help from Terry.
I love the new name. It's freaking hilarious.
Thank you.
It's it's gonna be polished, but it's funny.
Or it could just stay unpolished because that's really more my brand, So
yeah.
I should have added Terry back in here too.
No,
yeah. So, all right. Well, I think I'd go Burning T on that too. That seems like what the chat's going here. I just want to say, make sure you're following. Where am I at here? That's Mini Free. That's me. There's Terry.
Yeah.
Bats T76, the great Terry, who does tons of work behind the scenes here, both on game day and leading up to it. So thank you, Terry. Terry's a great follow, and she's also a great independent journalist as well, and does great spaces. She's all over the place, does amazing stuff. So thank you, Terry. And thanks to everybody in the chat. This was a lot of fun. You guys make this awesome. There was a couple more things.
Stitch, of course you can send Free a message.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feet pics. He likes those.
Or if or if you need to make sure the message lands, Terry takes messages too. So she handles all of our bookings and stuff.
Yeah.
So that. So, but no, thank you guys. This was fun. Did you guys have a good time at least?
Oh
yeah.
Absolutely.
That meme thing sucked. That was really hard.
Well, I mean,
I can't though. I want a shirt. I'm gonna get a shirt made with that.
I finished on the high note there, at least.
I just want to thank you, Free, and Terry for inviting me. I know it was short notice, kind of last minute thing, but yeah, I had a blast. It was, and everybody in the chat was great. This is going to be big. I can already tell.
Oh,
I
thanks.
know this show's so good.
Well, we got so much talent, like in the libertarian and MAGA group. We have so many talented people with so many great ideas, and so I just was trying to come up with a format that would show that off, give people the ability to meet new people, see something behind like what we post on X, because I'm pretty edgy on X, and some people are more, funny or yeah, right, Terry. So like you get to see some personalities and, some of our like real life, who we are, so, yeah, Joseph, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Happy belated birthday again. Sorry, I missed it. And, Creole Queen, props to Terry, props to you, Creole Queen. Yeah, really appreciate y'all. And, yeah, so
No,
that's it.
because
Unless anybody's
listen, let
got
me just
anything else.
interrupt. What final thing? I mean, because honestly, the Libertarian Party is the closest way, the closest one that we're going to get to actually being united. You know what I mean? I mean, we might not agree on everything, but at least we agree that Democrats are crazy. See what I mean? So I think that's I love this show. I love the idea. Free, you're freaking awesome. Terry, you're even more awesome. And guys, Bernie, congrats. Trevor, I'm glad you followed me.
Absolutely, brother.
All
And I
right.
got you back.
Well, thanks, everybody. And let's call it here. And good night.
Good
Have a
night.
good Friday.
What do I do now?